The Joe Rogan Experience.
So they lead you from a hut that you're staying down. They stop. They go, stop, listen to the insects in the river. He goes, that's going to be amplified soon. And you're like, okay. He comes and the woman, the shaman wears this headdress and she beats you with these leaves and rubs this, says whatever chant she says and rubs this stone all over you. Gives you the ayahuasca. It tastes like fucking ass. Tastes like whatever's left in this ashtray. And you just drink it down. They say, your partner, she's on the other side of the fire. You're on this side of the fire. You don't talk. He's having his trip. You're having your trip. That's it. You might throw up because that is, the ayahuasca doesn't make you trip. The ayahuasca takes everything out of you. And then I have it written down actually. Chacruna was the.
It's a different drug.
Yeah. So ayahuasca clears you unless a chacruna, in this case, do it. They showed me where the ayahuasca came from. Planted 80 years before. Wow. They planted it. So drank it. I'm laying there on a mat, just like a thin mat next to this fire in this like hut. I'm a bit worried about like anacondas and jaguars and stuff, but like, so she says, the shaman says, I'm your mother here. The ayahuasca, the root is your grandmother. My son, who's training to be a shaman, he is your brother. And the fire is your ancestors. So I drank it. He said, stare at the fire for about 5 minutes, then go lay down. My partner started throwing up 10 minutes in. Going to the edge. There's 2 entrances to the thing. Throwing up. Just wasn't coming. It wasn't coming. A little bit of like a light cap and a stem mushroom feel for about, I don't know, hour and a half or so. And then I started getting nauseous, but I'm trying to choke it down, like don't. And then it hit me like, oh, I think I'm supposed to throw up. So I kind of like pitch black, away from the fire, went to the edge, and then like, you know how you can like sort of like, and then barfed like a little bit, and then just unloaded. I was afraid it would be like retching. It wasn't that. Just like unloaded. And then he's right there, the shaman's like trainee son, with a bowl of water. He goes, swish around, don't drink it. And he goes, are you having visions? Dude, I don't know how he was. I don't know how he was communicating with me, to be honest, because I barely speak Spanish, and he barely speaks Spanish. But
enough,
I guess. He was like, are you having visions? And I was like, yeah, they're more like kind of mental, like the mental mushrooms, mental. And he goes, okay, go back, be strong. I don't know how he was conveying this to me. But he was like, okay, go be strong, go lay down there, and like, you have to like be strong. So then it just opened up. And
so more than an hour and a half in?
More than an hour and a half in. Of a 7-hour trip.
Wow.
Yeah, it took a while. The partner was going immediately. But like, I see these like fractals and like geometric shapes and occasional like splashes of, and this is the thatch roof of the hut, right? So nothing's there. And an occasional like real splash of like vivid neon light. And then I started seeing these like orbs kind of like going up into the fractals. And then the more I looked forward and back, I'm on my back, but the more I look forward, backward, side to side, there's just hundreds or thousands of these orbs, these small orbs going up into the fractals and just sort of like playing with each other. These orbs, they were kind of like had a life to them. So like, and then at some point from me comes this orb and sort of like goes up. And then I started examining what the orbs are. So, look, I don't know. I don't know about any of this stuff. But this is just what it gave me. I don't know, same as mushrooms. I don't know if it's just scientific or if it's like another realm, whatever.
Right.
The orbs were, I call it when you pure something, when you pure it. To me, they were moments of pure artistic expression. You ever have a set or a roll where you're like, I hit every fucking move.
You get in the zone.
In the zone, sure. You pured it. In golf, Jamie, you might know, it was like when you fucking hit one and you just like fucking like up, but you're like, I can't hit the green from here. You do see it go perfectly and bounce. And it's just a pure moment of artistic expression. And generally when I see that, it makes me cry. When I listen to Nevermind, I tear up. You know, you ever hear that album when you're like, oh, this is, they nailed it. They nailed it.
They nailed it.
Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, this church it's being built still. It was a 200-year plan to build the perfect church.
St. Peter's Basilica in Rome.
Okay. And you see it.
Stunning.
And I went in there and I started weeping.
Start crying.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's
perfect.
overwhelmingly perfect.
Yeah. It's art.
Yeah. Other moments, I was at, it doesn't have to be big moments. It could be small moments. I was at the haunted ride at Disney back in LA. And I was with some chick and I was like, some guy was like, right this west, you know, and like, he's playing the role, whatever. And then like he left to go greet the next like car, and as we were slowly moving forward. And then I was like, oh, that guy was creepy, right? And then he was back on me, just going, what did you say? It just like frightened me. And I'm like, that guy nailed it. In that moment, we were both fucking jumped. He fucking nailed it.
Right.
He pured it. And what you want in those moments, you did it, right? You made this thing, and that's the orb. And what you want is to make it for sure. But what you also want is some recognition. You want someone to say, like, if you hit that golf shot, you look around, like if you're playing by yourself, and somebody that next to you is like, dude, fucking nice one. You're like, yes, thank you. You saw it. You saw it.
Right.
And so there's been two things I've gotten that way. Two things that I've had that I'm like, I pured it. One was that storytelling show. This is not happening. I just think it was like, I mean, I don't want to talk about myself, but like it was cool, and
you nailed
it was a way for other comics to show themselves.
No,
and
you
like,
did. I can express it for you. You did an amazing thing, and those opening sequences where you'd have like these animated fight scenes and shit, they were awesome.
We're cool. It just made it cool and fun to watch, and let people go like, hey, we're not going to censor you.
Right.
We want you to do your thing. Your fucking strip club in the woods story is like these moments that I'm also allowing other people to like. So I figured out my orbs. What I do is make stuff myself, and then also give a chance for other people to make theirs. It's one of my things I like making. You have the same thing where you like having other people make their things. It's one of your art forms is allowing other people to make their art. Another one was this last hour I did, the Jew hour. It was good. It was really it was good. And so it had bothered me at the time. I wasn't able to like make it as special, but I was able in that moment to go, but I made it. It was good. You know, I made a really really mindful, kind of perfect thing. And yeah, maybe whatever happened, like I wasn't able to make like millions of people saw it, but like thousands of people saw it. Maybe 150,000 people saw it live, you know? But like, I made it. And I cried hard for that, for this not happening. Not so much that like for the loss, but for like when I was able to
purity.
I was able to step back and go like, it's done now. I made it, and it hit me like, oh damn, dude, that was fucking good. And I just kind of said goodbye to it, and that orb went up and played for eternity. Every time you do something like artistically pure like that and nail it, you pure it, those things are up there in the heavens, in the whatever. They're playing with each other. All the forms, the guy at Disney, the guy who made the Basilica, fucking Kurt Cobain, not Kurt Cobain, Nevermind, is up there playing with each other, enjoying each other's company forever. And I saw myself in 50 years dead, and the orbs are still playing. And I'm decaying, and the orbs are still playing. They'll be there forever. And I was able to sort of like put that behind me and say, I'll move on to my next thing. Because what I want to do is I want to make things, right? I want to make another orb. And that's kind of all I want to do now, is just make another thing. And I won't always get there, but even if you fail, even if you're like, that set was so, you know it's getting you closer to a fucking perfect set. And sometimes it's just a 15-minute set at the fucking whatever club, you know? Governors or some shit where it's like, oh, I fucking nailed it. Sometimes it's a 10-minute pop in. You're like, that earthquake thing that I saw at the Ha-Ha, that was one. because there was some kid, some young 1-year comic watching that going like, oh my God. He fucking pured it in that moment.
Yeah.
But you wanted someone to fucking notice it once in a while. You do.
Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.